I want you to imagine two people. One of them sits in his room all day, scrolling TikTok, watching porn, doing everything you know he shouldn't do. He complains that life isn't fair, that he has no control, and that he's doomed for the rest of his life to be a broke loser. Now the other man, he wakes up early, he straight away challenges his mind and body. He meditates, he does deep work, he takes ice baths, he trains his ass off in the gym. He knows that in life you get what you deserve and you deserve what you earn. He understands that life is in your control and that you can take back control of your life at any moment. About 3 years ago, before I started my journey towards self-mastery and started posting content on Instagram and Twitter, I was a broke university student in another country with basically only two friends, my girlfriend at the time and a guy called Michael. I absolutely hated the degree I was studying, which was sport and exercise science, and I hated the idea of having to work until I was 60, at which point I would have no energy to do anything I wanted to do. And most of all, I actually hated the idea of someone being able to tell me when I could go to the bathroom or when I couldn't. However, the issue was I couldn't see a way out. You see, you're raised, at least in the UK and the US, you're raised to think, right, go to school, get good grades, go to university, get a degree, get a good job, and you'll live happily ever after. However, I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. I knew that wasn't my path. But I felt lost. I felt like I had no control. I couldn't see a way out of this path that I was destined to go down. But 3 years later, I run a 6-figure business, have a close group of good friends, and I've never felt more fulfilled and happy in my life. And it's all thanks to this process, which I decided to do 3 years ago, stuck in my student accommodation. And in fact, it's actually a process I still follow today when life gets messy. When I start to get complacent and slip into comfort, when routines start to fall apart and my priorities get many. And I can promise you that the shit I'm going to talk about in this video will change your life if you stick to it. Yes, it's going to be hard, but everything worth doing is hard, so just fucking do it. The first step of this process is to understand that you will be misunderstood. When I first started to improve my life, I was constantly being judged by friends and family. They were asking me, oh, why aren't you drinking tonight? Why aren't you going out to this party? Why are you going to bed at 9 p.m? And at the start, it really fucking got to me. It really fucking dug deep, and it sort of hurt, and it made me sort of question, why am I doing this? Is this the right thing for me to do? But I was genuinely just so fed up in my life that as much as it hurt, I didn't even care what they were saying. I knew what I was doing and I knew why I was doing it. You see, when you decide to take control of your life and prioritize your improvement, people are going to judge you. Friends, family, strangers, they'll question why you're doing what you're doing. Let them. They don't understand. They're not on this journey towards self-improvement and self-mastery. And that's okay that they don't understand. They don't need to. All that matters is that you know why you're doing what you're doing. So understand, you will be misunderstood. All of us who are on this journey towards self-mastery and self-improvement are misunderstood by others who aren't on the journey. But that's okay, because we understand each other. We understand why we're all doing this. The second step is to journal. If you had told me when I was 16, 18, basically before I started this self-improvement journey, that I would be journaling daily, I would have told you to wise the fuck up. I always thought that journaling was something that teenage girls did, you know? They'd sit alone at night and write in the Dear Diary, that sort of stuff. But honestly, there is no better habit to clear your head, get some clarity, cure anxiety, all that stuff than journaling. Now, honestly, there are tons of ways to journal. There's brain dumps, there's gratitude journaling. But for the purpose of this process and taking back control over your life, you need to journal in a very specific way. You basically want to start writing about life, but more particularly, you need to write about 3 things. You want to write about how you feel, what you want in life, and what you don't want in life. Now, I say I'm highlighting you because I don't want you to write about what you think your parents want you to do, what you think your friends want you to do, what you think you should do. I want you to write about what you want and what you don't want. And be fucking detailed. Yes, it's going to feel cringe writing about, oh, in life I want to feel this, I want to do this, I want to look like this. It will feel cringe, fuck it. But trust me, this is an absolute necessity and you will feel amazing after it. You'll feel so clear and you'll have a bit of direction and you already have your first step of control. So this is literally how you're going to create clarity around how you want to feel, how you want to look, what you want to do, what you want to accomplish. And now, this brings us to step 3, which is set these 3 goals. Now, once you have clarity for what you want in life and what you don't want in life, you need a direction, okay? Because it's all well and good having a clear goal of what you want, but you need an actual direction to go in. You need a road to follow. And that pretty much requires you setting goals. Now, I always used to make the mistake of writing like 200 fucking goals. I want to do this, and that, and this, and that. And I basically never achieved any of them. Like, I failed more than you could imagine. So when I was actually doing this process, process 3 years ago, stuck in my student accommodation. It literally changed how I set goals forever. Since doing this process, I've built a 6-figure business, I've squatted 200 kilos, and I'm more fulfilled than ever. So the thing about goals is you want to set a goal in every area of life. You want to improve every area. But the problem with that is that you often get distracted and you're pulled in too many directions and you make no progress. So the key to goal setting is to actually set your goals in lever moving areas. So for this process, you want to set one goal in these areas of your life. You want to set a physical goal, a financial goal, and a purpose related goal. If you set these 3 goals and make them big, like I mean fucking big, so big that you're like, oh fuck, I don't know if I can do this, and make them specific, and then you start working towards them, because of the areas these 3 goals are in, you're going to create ripple effects into every other area of your life, and every other area of your life is going to improve. Now the 4th step is to make your plan like this. A funny story, I actually once set a goal, and it was a big goal, right? But I decided not to make a plan. I decided that on the day I would decide what I would need to do to achieve that goal. Okay, so I was basically just winging it. Every day I was just deciding, okay, I'll try this, or oh, I'll try this. And guess what? I never fucking achieved it. And because I made no progress, I didn't achieve it, it made me feel like shit, it made me feel bad, and end up spiraling into me not taking action, into building bad habits, and pretty much just regressing and losing all the progress I made. And it just, again, that spiraled and spiraled and spiraled. So you need to understand that goals provide you long-term direction, okay? They provide you long-term direction. The plans provide you short-term direction. But for the short-term direction to be accurate, so for it to actually lead you to your destination, your goal, your strategy needs to be crafted in a very specific way. So what you want to do is you want to figure out the vehicle for your goal. So what do you actually need to do to achieve that goal? You then want to break it down into a smaller time component. So if your goal is a year-long goal, you want to break it down into a quarterly goal. You want to repeat this process, and you want to keep breaking that down until you get a daily action. This daily action is your daily focal point. This is what you're going to show up every single day and do in your deep work block to actually make progress and get shit done and move some levers. Now the 5th step is probably the biggest and most important step, and that's to put yourself through daily challenge. Look, you can't be a comfort bunny. You can't do it. I know you just want to sit there and watch TikTok and just scroll TikTok and play fucking video games. Like, what's the harm in 1 hour video games, Ross? Video games are a trap. I know you can build great analytical skills, you can build great problem solving skills playing video games, Ross. When you're playing a video game, you're putting that time, effort and energy into building a life in a fake reality, and you're doing that because your real life is shit. And I know this is tough, I'm telling you hard truths that you don't want to hear, right? But the reason you're playing video games and building a fake reality is because you don't like your real reality. You don't like your real life. So instead of playing video games and building your problem solving skills and building your life up in the video game, build your problem solving skills in real life. Craft your life into an existence which you're fucking proud of and that you don't want to escape from. So look, comfort is the enemy. You know this already. But it's especially the enemy if you want to take back control of your life. Because comfort is the #1 way to give up control of your life. When you give in to comfort, you're giving up control. So to take back control over your life, you need to shock your system. You need to voluntarily challenge your mind and body every single day. I personally recommend lifting heavy weights and cold exposure. They're my 2 go-tos of daily challenge and discomfort. If you do these 2 things every single day, you'll build your discipline, you'll callous your mind, you'll improve your physique, you'll improve your confidence, and most importantly, you'll start to appreciate the power of conquering your own mind, because man conquers the world by conquering himself. Now step number 6 is to follow your curiosities. Look, we have the internet. Everything is at your fingertips. Everything I've learned about the business, gym, self-improvement, mastering my mind, I have learned through the internet and through experience. Like, if you want to learn something, you can just Google it, find out the basic fundamentals and take action on them basic fundamentals, and then learn the rest through action and experience. So what lights you on fire? What could you sit up all night researching, thinking it was only minutes? Whatever that is, follow it. Go deep and immerse yourself in its world. And this will really help you decide what you want to do in life. Now, step number 7 is to educate yourself relentlessly. When I was at school, I was always a good student. I was always getting straight A's across the board, and that's not because I'm naturally smart. It was more because I was just good at sitting down and studying, and that was not my own doing. It's because I had a strict mother who gave me no choice and I had to sit down and do the studying. Because I was forced to do this, I ended up hating education. I ended up hating school, and basically anything about learning I hated. But once I started this journey towards self-mastery and self-improvement, I really started to realize that education only actually starts once you leave school, and once you can start to educate yourself about your own curiosities and passions and interests. And the thing about taking control over your life is that you need to be competent. Now, competent in what? Well, you need to be competent in what you want to do in life. So a great starting point of this is to be competent in the intersection of the curiosities that you're following in step 6 and in providing value to others through that curiosity, because if you want to master your life, you need to be able to provide value to others, whether that's through a business that you want to start or through the career you want to follow. Take courses, read books, hire mentors. Whatever you do, just educate yourself relentlessly and be fucking competent. Now, this 8th step is to build an audience. I started posting content on Twitter 3 years ago. Since then, I've grown to about 85,000 followers on Twitter and 270,000 followers on Instagram. I've built a 6-figure business and I impact over 12 million people every month. But I actually initially started this audience for 2 reasons. Well, one, I always wanted to do it. I used to make YouTube videos when I was like 12. You can try find them if you want, but I'm pretty sure I've deleted them all. I wanted a reason to walk the walk. By posting content and documenting my journey, it gave me a reason to keep pursuing mastering my mind, improving my life, and chasing my curiosities. So you need to give yourself a reason to walk the walk. So start sharing what you learn, documenting your journey, and helping others. And you can simply do that by creating content around your own natural curiosities and passions. And obviously that content, you want that content to help other people who are interested in the same thing as you. And trust me, if you're interested in one thing, somebody else is too, which is why you're watching this video. I made this video because this is something I'm interested in. This is something that really helped me. And the fact that you're watching this video proves the fact that if I'm interested in something, somebody else is too, just because you're watching this video. And do this for 6 months. I promise you it will change your life and you will have a thriving digital asset. So look, life can get messy. Trust me, I know that. I've been there and it can feel fucking tough. It can feel like you have no control and you're lost. You have no direction to go in. Don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily your fault. There's loads of factors that go into that, but the only way you can change this and take back control of your life is if you accept responsibility and start to be intentional with your actions and master your mind. Now, following these 8 steps we've discussed in this process helps you do exactly that. And actually let me know in the comments right now what your goal is for each of the 3 areas which we discussed earlier. And remember, challenge yourself.